Welcome to the Positive Solutions for Life podcast, where the aim is to give you positive solutions for you to transform your mind and body from the inside out. I'm your host, Peggy Meyer, and today's episode is all about expanding your perception, learning to zoom out, shift your perspective, and see the bigger picture in your life. Because sometimes we get stuck focusing on the wrong things. Today, I'm going to talk about 4 areas in life that our focus becomes real narrow and we fail to see the bigger picture. So let's start with something many of us have struggled with, the scale. The number on the scale is just a number. That number can be powerful. It can control your feelings and your thoughts about yourself. The number goes up, and suddenly your day is ruined. You start feeling bad about yourself. You're suddenly, none of your clothes look or feel good on you. You're in a bad mood. Has this ever happened to you? I have done this. This has happened to me numerous times. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling good in my skin. And then boom, I step on the scale. And the number on the scale doesn't match how I feel. And I'm defeated. I'm down, I'm upset, and I'm frustrated. But the opposite can also be true. There are times when I have felt good about myself, what I've been doing, and I step on the scale and get the satisfaction of seeing the number down. Great, I feel even better. I've also stepped on the scale thinking the worst, that I've had too many cheat days, ate too much, was not as disciplined, and I step on the scale, and the number isn't as much as I thought it would be. So I don't feel too bad. But the truth is, your worth is not measured by a number on a scale. It's not. The number on the scale has many factors to it. What you ate, how much water you've been drinking, inflammation, how your body is storing the water, the time of the month for women in particular, you name it. Your weight can fluctuate 5 to 7 pounds in a week without changing what you do. So, what else can you look at besides the scale? The scale is just one measurement, one little thing. If you get too focused on that, your day could be ruined if it's in the wrong direction. So here are some other ways you can measure yourself in regards to a number on the scale. How do you feel in your clothes? Do your clothes feel better? What have you actually measured yourself? Have you taken like a tape measure and took your measurements? Sometimes the scale doesn't move, but your body shrinks because it's getting more tone. It's eliminating some of the fat and the water. Another way is, how do you feel when you wake up in the morning and throughout the day? Do you have the energy to do what you need to do? Hey, life is good if you got energy. When you're feeling down and depressed and you don't have any energy, you don't like going through the day. How about your thoughts? Are your thoughts becoming kinder to yourself and to others? Are you talking nicely to yourself? If you said to a friend what you say to yourself, would you have any friends? Would your loved ones want to be around you? How about, are you getting stronger? Muscle weighs more than fat. Have you been working on toning your body and building up your muscle? This is going to impact the number on the scale as well. So don't let one data point, one way to measure your health define you or your journey. You are more than the number on the scale. A second way that we need to sometimes take a bigger perspective is your impact. You are probably making a bigger impact on other people's lives than you realize. Sometimes we don't see it. We don't see the impact we're having until somebody points it out. Parents, you know this too well. You know the moment your toddler repeats the exact cuss word you said under your breath with perfect tone and timing. Oh, it can be horrifying and really oddly impressive. Children seldom misquote. In fact, they usually repeat word for word what you shouldn't have said. Don't know who the author was, but that's a good one. But it can go both ways. We can have positive impact on others. As a mental health counselor and wellness coach, I've often wondered if anything I teach has stuck with anyone. And then one day, a former client tells me how they still remember something I said that helped them through the day. Or someone in the community thanks me for the time I put in volunteering. I also realize I've impacted my family's choices of food. I never thought my kids would ask for spinach. Hey, my son asks for a spinach dish every so often. Or my just turned teenage daughter would put sauerkraut on a sandwich. Yeah, never thought that. Or my husband would finally start adding sauteed vegetables and spinach to his eggs in the morning. You know how long that took me to get him to make that change? We don't know the impact we have on others. We have more impact and influence on others than you think. You never know what you say to others or the actions you show, how it will impact or influence others, but they do, both positively and negatively. Zig Ziglar has said, "You never know when a moment and a few sincere words can have an impact on a life forever." So it's those little things, it's those little signs that remind us consistency creates quiet influence. Doesn't have to be flashy, just consistent reminders, consistent actions creates quiet influence. So the third thing that we often get in a narrow focus on is one mistake. Don't let one mistake steal your whole story. Have you ever messed up once and felt like that's all anyone will ever remember? Whether it's at work or at home, have you gotten like one piece of negative feedback or constructive criticism and you just forgot all the things you've done right? It's like saying, can't see the forest for the trees. We get so focused on the one thing that went wrong, we forget about the 99% of the other things that are going well. We let it ruin our day and stop us from continuing on. I've done this many times. And one time I remember decades ago, I put myself out there and I did a webinar for the first time. It was on the importance of sleep. Out of the many reviews, I got one that said, hey, the information was just too general. Like everyone knows this already. I let that one comment stop me. I doubted myself. I doubted my ability to provide impactful information. You know what? I didn't do another webinar for about 10 years. And you know what? I lost out on the opportunity to impact many people's lives just because of that one comment. And this happens a lot in sports too. Sports, one fumble, one missed shot, one bad move, and suddenly that's the only thing a player can remember. They tighten up. They start falling apart. And guess what? They start thinking about not messing up. I can't mess up. I can't mess up. I can't make a mistake. And guess what? They make more mistakes. They're tight. They can't go through the motions and see that their impact is not just that one thing, that last second shot that they missed. No, that doesn't define them. So don't let one bad moment ruin a good day. And the fourth thing that sometimes we get too narrow focused on is the idea like, poor me. We get stuck in ourselves. When life feels heavy, when we are focusing just on ourselves, our current situation, our problems that are stacking up, we need to zoom out and be grateful. We need to look out beyond ourselves. We need to look at others in our community, our state, our country, or even the world, because we can always find someone that is going through something harder, something a little more difficult than you. It's not to minimize your pain or my pain and the struggles that we're going through and the situation that you're in, but it's there to remind you that there's still good around you. You can be grateful for what you have. You can be grateful for your circumstances. Do you have a house that you live in? Do you have a nice place to call home? Are you just out of the shelter? Are you just out of the elements? Do you have shelter? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have transportation? Do you have a car that runs? Do you have a means to get from one place to another? Do you have somebody that loves you, that checks in on you, that calls you? Do you have a friend that calls you? Do you have a friend to talk to? What do you have to be grateful for? Gratitude doesn't erase the struggles that you're having, but it can balance the scale. It can change your perspective. It can change the game of life for you. Gratitude is what turns what we have into enough. When life is closing in around you and all you see is the problems you have, look elsewhere. Look beyond. Look and find someone who has a little bit worse off than you are, who has maybe some bigger struggles. It doesn't take much to get out of your own little bubble. Look around you. There are other people struggling too. Be grateful for what you have. So when we get stuck on focusing on the wrong things, the scale, your impact, a mistake, or just focusing in on all of your problems, zoom out. Look at the whole picture, the bigger picture in life. Life isn't just one number, one mistake, or one moment. It's all of it. Gain a larger perspective. Wayne Dyer has said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So focus on the good, recognize your impact, give yourself some grace, and above all, keep showing up. So until next time, see the bigger picture.